Bob Dillner, App TV, and AWN. Myles, I want to start with you. Both of you guys had big games here today, but I want to focus in on that overtime period. That defense for your team came up big. Just describe the game plan and how you executed in overtime.
Yeah, Coach told us to pick the defensive intensity up, and, we responded. He got on us, got on me in particular, all we got to do is respond as a team, and with that mindset, we can guard anybody, we can get stops on anybody as a team, and, we responded to his coaching.
CJ, we talked about this a little bit on the ESPN broadcast, but you played Georgia Southern a lot this game tonight. Your final one against Georgia Southern to get that victory in overtime. What does it mean to you personally?
It means a lot, just because, like you said, I've been playing them for a long time, and it's just a big rivalry. So, just getting a win, especially on home floor in front of this great crowd, which is great. So.
Jordan Luker with 90.5 WASU FM and also Appalachian Weekly News. Myles Tate, this one's for you. You had 26 points today, a great game, but also 5 assists. What does it mean to not only get those points, but also spread the love around to your teammates today, and what did that mean to the win?
That's the easy part, getting the assist, throwing it to these great players on my team. When they open, my job is just to give them the ball, and they do the rest. So, just passing them the ball is an easy job. It's probably the easiest job I got.
CJ Huntley, this one's for you. This is Grace Sullivan Callahan with App TV on the A game. But I'm curious, what goes through your mind when you're able to come up with those clutch threes late in the game and help rally your team along?
Just my teammates have that confidence in me. Myles right here, he got 5 assists. He's always looking for me, give me the ball. So I just appreciate my teammates, for just looking out for me. So.
Parker Eglin with the Appalachian. Both of you scored a combined 51 points, but you guys also played, each of you, over 40 minutes. Myles 43, CJ 41. What gets you guys going when you guys have to play the bulk of the game?
Just the energy in the arena, especially energy from our teammates as well. Just puts us into another level, so I just feel like that.
Zach Colburn, Watauga Democrat. Guys, for either one of you, you guys, every time you guys seem to get out to a lead, they seem to cut it close. What was Coach telling you guys during those conversations?
He was telling us we knew it wasn't going to be an easy game. Every game in the Sun Belt is really a difficult game. Everybody play their hardest, so, when you get a lead, you just can't relax. And, they made some shots, they made some good plays, and hats off to them for not giving up in the game. They're going to fight. So Coach was just telling us to respond and weather the storm.
Guys, could either one of you just harp on what Luke Wilson meant to you guys down the stretch? I mean, comes in when Jalil's a little limpy and really does well to close the game out.
Without Luke Wilson, we don't win this game straight up like that. He came in with energy as soon as he got in the game, man. We all got Luke back, and he got our back, especially on defense. He affecting shots, he getting the ball down low, and he's scoring the ball, he making free throws. Without Luke Wilson, we don't win this game, and a whole bunch of other games too. So, we all proud of Luke, because we see how hard he work every day, and it's been a progress for him since he got here. So we all proud of him.
Any other questions for Myles and CJ? All right, thanks, everybody. Be back in with Coach Kerns.
Yeah, just another classic, great. That's our 3rd straight overtime game with Georgia Southern. And so we just always have these sort of games, all right? It's just a great game, back and forth. They've got a good team, and I thought we made winning plays down the stretch. We survived a cramp. We survived some fouls. And then CJ and Myles were terrific. I was really proud of Luke Wilson for his minutes late and filling in there, especially 5 out of 6 free throws. He had some big rebounds. And so just a great college basketball game. Students and everybody helped us and fans. And so, on to the next one.
Go ahead and move into questions.
What is it about this rivalry that it always seems to come down to overtime?
I don't know. I don't particularly enjoy that, right? We've got a competitive conference. We've got a competitive conference. We've got, Sun Belt's got 2 teams in the top 100. We've got 5 teams in the top 150. And so, and we've got another group there like Georgia Southern that is, they've had some really good wins, and so, every game's a hard-fought win, and this was another one here tonight.
What's going on behind the scenes with Luke Wilson that is suddenly allowing him to earn more playing time and that kind of thing, and your confidence and the team's confidence in him?
Yeah, I think it's just simply that. I just think that his, he had I don't know, 6-7 games ago. He just really played well, got some free throws down, and is just booming with confidence now, and he's just continued it. I mean, I could go back probably 6-7 games, and he has really been playing good basketball on both sides of the floor. But in his defense, this is really the first year that he's ever played full basketball. Mm-hmm. He never played a full year of basketball in high school because he was a high-level football player, so he wouldn't start playing basketball until late December. Well, then last year he obviously had a development year, and so he wasn't part of games. So this is the first season that he's been able to really – and so, that light is flickering, and it's really it's going to be staying on here pretty soon. But, man, he is – I'm proud of him, right? Like, he's put in a lot of work last year and this year. But yeah, his confidence is growing, and everybody's confidence is growing. And it should. He's playing really good basketball.
At times, it looked like you guys were prepared to blow this game completely open tonight. You disappointed at all that you maybe didn't take care of those opportunities earlier?
No, because that's just the way they play, right? So for them, their style of play, and credit them, they're married to it, right? And so they don't view. If you get up 9, they don't view that as 9. They view it as 3 possessions because how many threes they shoot. And so, team like that, you can never be comfortable. And so it is always going to be some game and runs. Like I thought that, they got up in the first half. We went on an 8-0 run. We got up in the second half. They came back. Like it's just the way they play because of how many threes they can shoot and they can get right back in the game. And I mean, everybody on their team shoots threes outside of a couple players, so you have to prepare, and it can kind of get your defense stressed a little bit. But and they made 10, right? And that's kind of what their average is. In fact, they averaged 10 made threes. So we held them to their average. But we knew that it was going to kind of be one of those type games because they're never really out of it without how they play.
Jordan Luker with 90.5 WASU and App Weekly News. Coach, great win for you today, but what's some takeaways of what to improve upon going into the last part of your schedule here?
Yeah, I think rebounding. Now, obviously, when you play a team like them, there's a lot of long shots, long rebounds, and so sometimes you're going in there to get it, and it kind of gets deflected maybe over your head, and I think we had some of those, but I just think that we can, we play them again the next week. We've got to find a way to rebound better. We forced misses. And so that's a good thing, but we've got to find a way to get more one-shot stops.
And then going into overtime, your first overtime in a while, if I think so.
This season.
Yeah, this season as well. But what was the message to the players going into the first overtime for this team this year?
Yeah, and I was a little concerned going into the huddle because we had a chance to get a stop twice, and then they got an offensive rebound by Colin Cool, 14. And so we had a couple heads down. I just tried to, hey, listen, the game's not over. It's basketball. Next play. And that whole timeout, I lifted them up, just kept pumping them up. And then we started off the overtime really well, I think, on a 6-0 run or so. But that's the first overtime we've had. I mean, it's after 27 games, and we know what? We did have one in our scrimmage. So it's been a long time. That's in October, though. And so, that was new for our guys. But I thought once we settled down, we handled it well.
Grace Ellen Callahan with the A Game on App TV. Coach, you talk about your just sort of not being in overtime recently, really at all this season. What was something positive that you saw in overtime that you were really happy with?
I just thought our next play mentality was really good. We moved on from the ending of regulation, and I thought we really got some great stops, and I thought that we really did a good job in overtime of playing team defense. We had a great emergency switch that was huge. It took away a 3, where they'd gotten some separation off of a stagger screen. I thought that, we finished possessions really well in overtime. And then I thought offensively, we didn't settle. We took good shots. We got to the basket, being in the double bonus. So I thought we played really well in overtime.
And then taking it back to Luke Wilson just a minute ago, you've obviously seen a lot more of Luke Wilson than we have in the last 2 years. What's a quality that really stands out to you, not only as a player, but as a person for Luke Wilson?
Yeah, I love his competitive spirit. And, I love his work ethic. He's worked really, really hard for these moments. And I love his confidence growing, he's a great athlete. He's obviously got great size. But he has shot free throws really well lately, and that's just opened up. He had the big dunk. I love his passion. He was really ready to go, really ready to play, and I was really, really happy for him that he was able to, not only play a lot, but play well, help us win.
Parker Eglin with the Appalachian. Coach, what's your game plan for overtime? Do you try to stick with what's working, or do you try to switch it up in any way?
Yeah, it just depends on how the game's going. We stuck with it. We didn't overreact to maybe an offensive rebound there. Once again, we forced some misses. We just didn't get the rebound. So I felt like our defense was clicking. We played zone one time in the first half, and we fouled a three-point shooter, and so we didn't really go back to that until the last two possessions of the game in overtime. But we just stuck with it. We did make one little tweak offensively. We kept Myles Tate in the middle third, and we had the ball in Alonzo's hands, and then we got it to Myles really off the catch instead of off the dribble.
And how important is it to finish these last three games strong and get a higher seed going into this new Sun Belt tournament format?
Yeah, it's huge. And we're right there in the top of the standings, and I think we're one game out of first place, and with 3 games left, there's a lot of teams that have road games and like us, and just competitive games, and you just got to play the game, right? But when we got here at App State, we wanted to play in games that matter. We wanted to compete for championships, and here we are doing it again. Like I said, 1 game out of first with 3 to play, and we've got there's a lot of teams right there, and we've got to, we haven't played. We're not playing South Alabama, so the way it works, there's some kind of groups grouped together, right? And so there's some scenarios that are really good for us, but we're not worried about that. We're worried about now Marshall and 1 game at a time, and we feel like that, some of those other teams still got to play each other. So we'll see how it goes. We're just worried about App State.
So, Coach, tonight's win against Georgia Southern was our 10th home win of the season. That's 4 straight 10-win home seasons. Could you just kind of describe what the atmosphere in the Holmes Center is like and what that stat specifically means to you?
Yeah, that's huge. One of our goals is to make the Holmes Center a really, tough place to play and tough environment for teams to come in and get a win. And, certainly think we've done that. So appreciate the community and our students coming out and supporting us for four straight 10-win. Yeah, that's great. And then conference 10 wins. That's always good as well.
Any other questions for Coach Kerns?
Go downstairs, take the stairs. Thank you.